Hey, how are you? I am wearing a mumu.
Ooh,
I ordered it
nice.
from Amazon. I have turned myself into Mrs. Roper during this pandemic.
Sounds
Highly
good.
recommend it.
I like it. Comfortable, cute. You got it.
Everything's flowing easy. Everything.
That's the way it should be. Natural. Just
Just
let it
my
go.
youngest friends they are so into women's positivity. They're like, and I say something about a woman, they're like, well, it's a woman, so it's beautiful. And I'm like, yeah, woo! I am woman. I am beautiful.
Yes, I
I
like
am
that
also not
mindset.
wearing any. I'm also not wearing any underwear, and I highly recommend that too.
That sounds
So
very freeing.
that's the way we've started this, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah. I love that though, because it's like totally you. So
Oh man.
let's hear about you. Tell us about yourself.
Okay. I actually wrote it down because this is something. You're the first person I ever wrote it down for because it's something that I get asked to do like 3-4 times a week, and I decided, dang it, I'm going to make it official.
There you go.
Uh, so here it goes, and I'll try to make it fresh. I am the mom of 3 amazing young adults, Avery, Kim, and Ella. They live with me. Times are different. We are, I guess we are a compound now in High Point. All 5 of us live here. I am married to the love of my life, whom I met on the marching band field in Lubbock, Texas. His name is Harvey. And you know as well as I, or maybe you don't, that there are many passions that are stirred on the marching band field.
Ooh, I did
Well,
not
it's
know that.
co-ed, and we're playing music. I don't know. Sunburned and sensuality, but we were 15, so we were stupid. And so I'm an independent beauty consultant in Mary Kay, which is the term that we are asked to use legally because I'm not an employee. If you want to look at it this way, I am my own franchise. Every McDonald's, is owned by a different family or sets of them. So I'm literally like my own McDonald's, but like cute. And I like that. So I am known as a red jacket in the company. And girl, you actually get a red jacket. It's amazing. So that means I've made the choice to go to the level of leadership and build a team. And, you say, even though, yes, I have to wear underwear when I do it. Oh, God, this is going to be on YouTube. That's fine. That's fine. So you do dress up, and I will say, especially because in Star Trek, red is the administrative color,
Mhm.
So like when you've got that red jacket on, it is some powerful lady energy, and I highly recommend it. We haven't gotten dressed up since March or April, but I sometimes just wear it around with the mumu. But
Hey,
yeah, I know. In my other life, I am an actor, a singer, and a busted up old dancer in theater, film, and TV. And that I've done that ever since high school and have a degree in it. And yeah, people don't, yeah, they actually see that coming, but when I say it, they're like, no, really? I'm like, yeah, it happens.
yeah, tell me more about that.
Okay, I have a theater degree from Texas Tech. That's where you get the big bucks. Um, and it kind of came about that I ended up having a family first. So I kept doing a lot of musical theater and developed that. I played instruments, but then started singing at 20 when I got cast in a big musical called Nonsense because I was funny, but I didn't know how to sing. So except like at church. So they put me through like 3-a-days, like My Fair Lady, and I came out of it being able to carry a tune in a bucket, right? So I just kept that going. I know went through a lot of stuff in the first marriage. It was dysfunctional, and I can even go to this point of saying it was abusive. My escape was musical theater Because on the whole, with your obvious exceptions, it's kind of a hoot, right? You know,
Yeah.
all the pretty colors, all that stuff. And then I love doing commercials, which I did in West Texas before I moved here. And I like it. Never want to sprinkle. I've done several independent films, and I did 2 films and a docuseries for Robert Rodriguez 3 years ago.
Oh.
I know, right? And it was it was a show called Rebel Without a Crew, the series, where he was celebrating the 25th anniversary of him making his first film with no crew, $7,000 and in 14 days. So I just slipped in on that one and ended up, they had 5 directors for this competition. I was the only actress to get in 2 of the films. And it was, yeah. And I showed up in mom jeans, a Goodwill shirt, and like Keds. I was like, this is what it is, guys. This is what it is. And I realized that day, all the younger women around me were stressed out about their looks. And I was like, wait a minute. I've gone past that point. It doesn't matter anymore. It made me so happy. I was like, I can do whatever. I could show up in this mumu. They're not, you know, that was a big concern. Will I still be vibrant? Will I still be considered attractive? Well, it doesn't matter. It's the personality now. It's the wacky neighbor. And I'm down with that. I'll do that any day. And that's what I did. I mean, I was the mom, but it was hilarious. I loved it. It was a great experience. I still do a lot of musical theater and singing, but not right now. Now is a tough time, you know.
Yeah.
But I found I was at home with the children when I was first doing my career. So when I needed to get another day job, I found a great difficulty with being college educated and older. You couldn't just jump into a company. You couldn't, because you didn't have the basic skill set to do a spreadsheet, right? You couldn't, you know, I could answer the phone. I had done that for years, but you know, I was a pretty useless person. I could wait tables. I could make a killer Cosmo as an actor, you know, but I didn't have another skill set. So I kind of put myself through a bit of a self-training ringer. I started volunteering for organizations at the schools to learn how to be an administrator, like an administrative assistant. I did the dumbest thing in the universe, which is run a marching band for a year. There were no passions on that field for me, you know. But I had to learn to run it, and I learned to do spreadsheets and all these things. And then I realized not to be intimidated of those technical details, because you got YouTube, right? Mm-hmm. You just, you know, but it was very difficult. I kept coming in on the entry-level positions. I don't know if you've experienced being a fully formed human being and going and working in the entry-level position. They have no time for your sass, you know, and being kind of an extra personality. I mean, I came out this way. I don't, you know, this is how it is. Mm-hmm. You know, I had a hard time working for other women sometimes. I had a hard time working for, is it okay to say lazy? I said it.
Yeah.
People who seem to almost resent their work. And so if I was like, oh, I have an idea, and they would shut it down just so they could do less, I couldn't understand that. Yeah. I couldn't understand. And I couldn't understand other business people. I would give them a lead and they would waste it. Why would you do that? And then I thought, hey, after a while, why don't I just figure out how to do that myself? And this Mary Kay was the template. Wasn't the first one, but it was the template that has succeeded. So, no, I've dabbled. Girl, I've dabbled.
Good. You're finding your groove. Well, speaking of Mary Kay, let's talk about skincare. What are some of your favorites?
What? Funny you should ask. No, if I were to say what my favorite is the concept of a set. These sets are designed to handle the whole face. You know what I'm saying? And I had, before this, being a poor actor, was grabbing, you know, like the off-brand oil of Olay. and whatever scrub I could find on sale. And then when my face stopped, you know, things started going wrong with age, with sun exposure, I had no idea what to do. And I like structure. I liked, you know, I like to have a schedule. I like structure. So I liked being able to turn to, and even in the drugstore, I couldn't tell what went with what. Like I need you to show me so that I can feel secure in it. So picking a company whose sets were designed, these sets are designed not only to deal with different skin types, they all talk to each other. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
They chemically talk to each other, whereas if you are dealing with one line, I mean, I'm not supposed to mention other lines, but you know, a natural line here and a grocery store line here, they're not necessarily intended to work together. It could even be like, some of those are medicinal in a way, and you could be combining things or exposing yourself to sun in a way. You know, I think it's helpful to pick a structure. So we have 6 lines that all work together. So we're going to start with the dudes, if I may. It is Father's Day. And
yes,
the MK Man line, you think they wouldn't. Of course, being in theater, I know many men who take very good care of their skin. So you might have to get that out. But yes, the men, when the men hit a certain age, it does not occur to them, especially if they were not raised around needing to take care of their parents, that there is actual discomfort in aging. You know what I'm saying? The shock of their nose becoming porous, their skin starting to show sun damage, their skin being dry. And using this entire system, which I make my husband do, yes, he does, it really helps. He had no idea his face could feel soft again. I was like, and I've been doing this for a year, so I'm glad you found it. So it does have a shame foam that has cucumber in it and cooling agents. Very high quality. I love that so much. Then a cleanser, a hydrator with SPF, guarding for the sun is important, and an eye cream. And yeah, once they really give it a few weeks to actually try that, they begin to see that they're looking a little more youthful. And the puffiness that they might experience staying up late watching baseball videos. That happens in my house.
Yeah.
But I think when we're young, our appearance is easily controlled, right? It doesn't occur to us that, except for zits, that all of a sudden we need to get ahead of it and be preventative, like what? Functional, instead of traditional. So to be functional, one of the things that we start with is a very simple one called botanicals, which is like not concerned with the signs of aging, excessively gentle. This is a great tween one to get a tween accustomed to doing their skin. So it has a cleansing gel, the invigorating scrub, and it's all pink and lovely, and then it has a toner and the moisturizing gel, aloe vera and dragon fruit, very, very light. I have some people that go through stressful time periods in which, like, I have a client going through a divorce, and right now everything is setting her off but this. So we actually exchange out the line she was using until we find that pieces and piecemeal it together to find something that won't set her off. And that's the advantage of using the company, because we do that until you're happy, until it's functioning for you properly. So, because I can't tell you how many times I went through Eckerd's, which doesn't exist anymore. I just realized saying
I
that.
remember that though.
Do you remember when you would try something, you would go by near Noxzema and it would just burn the thunder out of your face? Did you go return it? No. You did not return it. You burned your face until it was out. Well, part of the idea of having a consultant is we check in on you. It benefits us in every way possible for you to be happy, because this is how I pay my bills. You know, this is how I buy mumus, Christy. So we check on you a couple days after, a couple weeks after, a couple months after, and you got to stay on it, and you have to ask the right questions. You know, and the questions for me are usually, how are you loving the product? But then, is there anything you would change? And that's the revealing one. And that's how the collaborative relationship works. This is Ella's skincare right here. This is the Clear Proof. And it's got a cleanser, a toner, the actual medicine for the acne, and a hydrator. She has been using it for 2 years now since I started this, and I just kept this out of the dermatologist. We love it. And that one, I'm gonna brag. That one's $45. That whole
For
set
the whole set?
For the whole set, girl.
Wow.
The whole set, and I think we get 4 months out of it at the minimum. You know, and that's with her actually. So most of these sets, yeah, yeah. And how can you do that, you might ask yourself, or does that diminish the product? No, it does not, because we make it here in Dallas. We make it here. There is no middleman. There is no multi-level. It goes from the factory to me. And that's how that price can be that way. And I get 50%, which if you've dabbled in other companies, that's an extremely high profit.
Mm-hmm.
Bitty. So they got trendy this last year, and I like it a lot with the naturally. This is a 99.9% naturally derived line that I love so much. It has the natural cleanser, and sorry, I got the ugly tester written on it because I can't keep this on my shelves. So it's got the cleanser, doesn't foam up because it doesn't have soap in it, because the soaps that we use that foam up aren't natural. Now are they? My Addiction, the exfoliating powder, girl, get this, the beeswax moisturizing stick. I love it. I know. Little ones love to use this. Little ones love it. It'll keep one in the purse. And then the big one everyone loves is the oil, the nourishing oil. This can be used, oh, love the smell. This can be used on hair, on the body, on a lot of things. And these, I dabble with these a lot. That's part of the fun of being a consultant, is I use the different products. So the regular line that we have is the Time-Wise line. And they have this. Did you ever use Mary Kay back in the day, Christy?
Yeah.
Like, remember, like, there was 18 steps and you had to take a breather in the middle? You know, you had to hydrate in the middle. There were so many steps, and you were like, oh. They realized this. They actually listened to their sales board a lot. We are treated extremely well because we are the bread and butter. And people were like, come on, y'all. So they took with the Miracle Time-Wise set, which is for, you know, your 20s, 30s. They took all those steps and put it into one cleanser. So you've got the cleaning, the exfoliating, the toning, and vitamins in that one. And then, because they're rad, as the kids say, they took all of this technology and they gave the patent to the researchers themselves, so that the researchers, the guys and gals in the doctor's coats and the safety goggles, are profiting from it. So I believe the children call that wholesome. Have you ever heard that?
Yeah.
How the kids say, this is so wholesome. Ella's training to be my assistant, and she's like, Mom, I didn't know this was wholesome. I'm like, yeah, it is. So you have your day and night cream, which is one's gray, the night's gray for people who take their contacts out. The day has SPF, and then your eye cream. 4 steps, that's all. And I know you asked a question that I will answer in just a second on how on earth you do all that without wearing yourself out. How do you make it part of your day? And if I could do it, anybody could do it, because I was fussy. So here's the big daddy, the stuff that is for ladies of a certain age. It's ever so good. You've got the repair line, which is not preventing, but it's bringing you back. It's going to hold the slack up with a rubber band. It's not going to do that. But this is what I use, and I dabble it with the other stuff. So you've got cleanser. Then you have the world-renowned lifting serum, which is Good Housekeeping approved. Do you know what that means? Good Housekeeping approved? Okay. I know, this is the most wholesome thing that's going to happen all day to you. The Good Housekeeping magazine, you remember? Yeah? Mm-hmm. They actually have an institute in New York in which they put all sorts of different products. And you've actually seen this, the little seal but you didn't know, you'll go back and look at it. They put it through extremely rigorous testing, far above any other consumer group. And basically they say, by putting their seal on it, that the product does exactly what we claim it does. And if it is not functioning properly, Good Housekeeping, the magazine and institution itself, will replace it. So this is Spanx in a
That's
bottle.
awesome.
And I have to say, usually I do skincare now, and anybody 30s, late 30s and up should. You do skincare from here to here, so it's the sun exposure. So I'm just, they call it the décolleté down here.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, okay, girl, it's the décolleté titties. Let's keep it real. But, but that lifting serum, we all start to notice, especially a freckled ginger like myself, how much it really the wrinkles and stuff. So this really starts to help. That was the big surprise for me is, oh, things are happening here. That's rude. Okay. So then you have your day cream and your night cream. One has the SPF. The reason that these lines have night creams is because, well, sleep is our regenerative time, right? Sleep is when the body heals. Sleep is when the mind heals. And these night creams in these lines are specifically engineered to trick your body or boost it into regenerating even more. And I'm kind of an information junkie. So when I study these lines and I hear these little tidbits, I think, how did I walk through a store just grabbing things and throwing them in the basket without knowing the science? What a waste of time and money. And then the eye cream, which, it has this rad little, look, this is what the beauty people do. It has this rad little metal ball on the end of it that has a metal alloy that reduces inflammation. So it's also kind of spoiling to put this in the refrigerator occasionally. Be like,
that's
so
smart. Nice and cool.
I know that was a long explanation, but for our age, it comes down to comfort level. I mean, it really does. Appearance and quality of life. So why would you go around scattering it when you could be dealing with somebody, an individual like me, who's going to actually be your concierge? If you can run into all different people in all different businesses. And if you'd worked with a Mary Kay person before that didn't do this, that was where they were. I can't say anything to that. There are several different levels of your participation in the company, and some people do it as a hobby. I like this as a day job because it doesn't make me switch gears as a person. It keeps me in the same mode I was as a mom. It keeps me an artist. It keeps me in the same mode. And they said, here's how you follow up with someone to attend to their needs. And I was like, well, that's what I would want. So I'm going to do it. The company teaches it to everyone. And if you run it, we all have bad experiences, but this is something I'm using, and it's preserving those relationships. And let's face it, you can get business from anywhere. You can buy tires from anybody. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You can buy your food from anywhere. The reason we pick small business is the experience. Mm-hmm. The reason we pick where we go sometimes to get services is because we like the person. So all I can say is, this is my heart on my sleeve. I've experienced a great deal of stuff in my life and found taking care of myself came with tremendous guilt. What if I can show you, just by benefiting my life and your life, just by checking in on you and hearing you out, how would that go? Mm-hmm. So far, it's kept me in mumus.
Priorities.
It has, but no, seriously, I told you I haven't had health issues for 3 years, and a lot of it I've had to do work virtually, but it's paying for some specialized health care for me right now. It's paying for having a functional diagnostic nutritionist to be on call to help me and to reverse a bunch of stuff, stress-related stuff. It's allowing me, my business is allowing me to, without guilt, take care of myself. And then I hope for it to be a day job that can, okay, I'm not gonna lie to you. I want to make more money than my husband. I want to be like,
Love it. Great goal. Yes. You're going to do it.
I have been in a subservient position most of my life because how dare I choose to raise a family? And it surprised me how I wanted to work and be there for my children and my dogs. I don't want to hurt the dogs' feelings either. I wanted to have that nurturing self that I was be my whole day. And, um, you know, I would get made fun of by men. You know, well, you're not making enough money, you know, blah, 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 blah. I want to be such a boss bitch. Oh, Chrissy, when I get the car,
that pink Cadillac, right?
The car's real, by the way, and everything about this is the real deal. And I've got all the numbers to show this is the real deal. It's an easy formula. You need to be training and keeping your team healthy, happy, and functioning. And they and you, with a certain number of people, are bringing in $5,000 of retail, which is not a difficult thing to do. So once you've got that for a financial quarter, you get the first car, which is a silver Malibu. I'm going to be intolerable. I'm going to drive up to your house. I don't even know where you live, but I'll find it. And I'm going to have a scarf on and like these big Jackie O glasses. Did you know they put your name in the car?
Yeah, that's pretty neat.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm kind of competitive. And if you tell me I can't do something, I don't know if you feel me on that?
Well, I want you to drive by my house. I want to be able to wave and high five, maybe virtual or from afar, safe distance, high five you, cheer you on. Yes.
I mean, I will have proven some things. You can be a nice person and succeed. You can put your family first because that's your heart sitting in 3 different bodies and succeed. You can love and succeed. You don't have to be aggressive. You don't have to put down other women to succeed. And you can follow your passion and succeed. And you can be a multi-dimensional woman and succeed. You know, some people in the community, when it comes to talking about building a team, they want, you know, I think one of the big objections with Mary Kay is, oh my gosh, you're going to make me buy all of that product, right? You're going to make me buy all of that product and I'm going to get stuck with it if I don't want to do it. Well, it may take me longer to be able to pay bills and rub this in every man's face that I know, but I don't mind someone joining me on different levels. They have pivoted greatly with the pandemic, and you can even start the business for $30 with no inventory whatsoever and never have any. If you choose to buy it, yes, of course, I get a commission from the company, not from you though, which keeps it from being multi-level. I want everybody. I want the people that want to true the discount. I want the customers that don't want to be a consultant, but they're willing to recommend people so they can get free stuff. And I want people who want to be like me and make it the day job, because they call it the pink bubble. And I thought they were lying about that. I was like, y'all are so... But there is something when you get up in the morning and your only intention is to serve. That affects the chemistry in your body. And all the website's pink. It's all pink. And there's no intention to harm, there's no intention to defraud, there's no intention to pressure. If you run into that, it's not because that's what the company said. So like Ella said, it's very wholesome. It's
wholesome. I love that.
It's wholesome. So I appreciate that.
Yes, yes. So how do you easily see that you can integrate these into our daily lives?
Okay.
The products.
I neglected myself so much. I've ended up in the hospital twice. in the last 5 years. Partly because I was convinced I could just get through it and I didn't want to put my family out and go to the ER. So when I say that I relate to not taking care of yourself and cheaping on yourself because you think, well, honestly, I think we got told that, which doesn't make a lot of sense for the women that raised us and the era that they did. But I think we kind of got told, work yourself to the bone, come home and do everything else, including all of the invisible housework and caretaking, and get up the next day and do it all over again. And I also don't think that caretaking means the wine and alcohol culture either. I think there's, don't get me wrong. I like the sauce, but I get concerned when we take shortcuts in a bottle for well-being. I think that's going to come back to smack you in the butt. I don't know how you feel about it, but I'm seeing some dangerous trends.
Yeah.
And the alcohol humor as well is funny to a point. But when you're saying, oh my gosh, I only will talk to you if you give me coffee or wine, I'm like, and all the
with coffee. I'm like, this is not negotiable.
It is negotiable, but you need to accumulate caring and time. You need to make it a habit. So there used to be this website called The Fly Lady, and I used to read it a lot about, it was about how to take care of your home and make it a habit. Now, some of it got extreme, but I still use some of it. And her idea was to put in a new habit each 21 days. Put in a new habit so that unconscious competence guides us to do something without raising our stress levels. It's what I have found. So although we are not, I don't believe women are the multitaskers we say we are. I do believe we're habitual, and I do believe we like structure, and structure is comforting. So if you are trying to just change yourself and your face and your skin basically by doing the simplest thing possible, which is engaging in and at night, I think you have to ask yourself, what is keeping you from doing that? What is keeping you? And just be honest about it. Some people say, I get too tired at night. And I say, rad, here's what's up. Do a Mr. Rogers. When you get home from work, you're laughing because I think you know what I'm about to say, don't you? When you get home from work and you get into your mumu, or you change from your day mumu to your night mumu, or right after you finish cleaning the kitchen or whatever you're going to do, go ahead and wash your face then. If you're not going to head out into the sun, you're done for the day. It's at that moment that you feel kind of done for the day. Go and do your routine really quickly and change into your comfy clothes. It will change your mindset. That cold water on the face, the feeling of clean, the fact that this stuff will not dehydrate your face and cleansing it. And it is a very quick method. You walk away and you feel like you're in a prescription commercial, but like at the end, where everybody's happy and at an outdoor concert in Oregon, and there's invariably a golden retriever running around,
Yeah.
Take those moments, create those moments, and get into your stuff. Don't wait until the end. So we'll recommend that you do special treatments. It goes without saying that if you were to put lotion on your feet before you file them down or get the dead skin off, the dead skin doesn't change because you put lotion on it, right? Now that is an extreme example. That's like a hoof example. But investing in these skincare sets will work a whole lot better, and you will be more comfortable if you are exfoliating several times a week in order to allow the regeneration of your skin. And masking is another great way to do that. So microdermabrasion is a very popular item, and I love it too, because it's just like getting that sandpaper, getting that layer of paint off to repaint that dresser, girl. Get it. So how do you fit that in? Put it in the shower. Put the microdermabrasion in the shower and add, be willing to even entertain buying 2 or 3 cleansers. Buy a cleanser for the side of the sink and then the shower. If anybody off this website wants to do that, I'll give them a deal. I'm good like that, But that's what I'm saying is put it in your path. Do a mask, the charcoal mask, which is amazing. Do it while you're cleaning the kitchen. And then go jump in the shower.
Yeah.
So that's what I do. That's what I do is I put it in the way of something else. A lot of our comedies that are like Brooklyn Nine-Nine and all that are 22 minutes on Netflix. So if you want to do a mask and you're doing a bunch of other stuff, put the mask on, and then when this episode's over, go rinse it off. It's to think that or do we think we need to be sitting there surrounded by our essential oils and candles and a shaman? No, we don't. We need to put it in our stride. So if someone is saying, I don't know that I want to do any targeted solutions for myself, I would say that's okay. Give it a month of washing your face in the morning and at night. So reward yourself. If you're like, well, why would I wash my face in the morning? Okay, just do a little dot of it and do like the eye boogers and the slobber off if you really, but it'll wake you up and treat yourself. Don't allow yourself the cup of coffee until you've done that. The when-thens is what I love in behavior. When I reward myself by preventing breakouts, by preventing oiliness, by making other products I'm going to put on my face look better, by making myself look better on the next Zoom video, by being able to go without makeup during the pandemic or during the summer because I'm going to take the time to wash my face, then I will reward myself with a cup of coffee. Change your mindset and treat yourself. I had a friend that would talk about doing a diet and she would say, that's okay, I know all the cheat tricks. And I was like, hey girl, aren't you cheating yourself? Apparently that was not popular. I was asked to leave. But instead of, I did this sometimes with some of my special needs kiddos, mine in my house. It wasn't focusing on the failures. It was rewarding the success until it accumulates.
The positive psychology.
The positive psychology. And I think treating yourself is a small thing. My mentor, I go audition a lot. I'm not doing it right now because I'm one of the immunocompromised, so I don't want to get out of the house. And honestly, I need some time. But he suggested after you go to an audition, after you tape an audition, treat yourself. Treat yourself. He said, what is it going to be? Is it going to be yogurt? Is it going to be a candy bar? Is it going to be nail polish? It's going to be a small thing, like a white elephant gift amount. But throughout that audition, keep that as a secret. Now, psychologically, what that does when you got a secret, a good one just for yourself, but it's not scandalous, it actually changes the expression on your face. It changes the stress levels in your body. And it actually shows there's ways to trick yourself into seeming naturally enthusiastic. And there are. And so I have kept that, and I call it a brain present because the present's in your brain. And that's what I tell the kids.
I like that a whole lot.
Do you like that?
I like that a whole lot, yes.
It's called a brain because, as you know, the word Advent means, preparing, getting ready. And sometimes the best part of Christmas is the getting ready. Christmas for me starts at September 14th, the day after my birthday. And I'm like ready to rumble. And so you have to understand that the day of is different stresses. You know as well as I that expectation, planning a trip, planning a treat does just as much for your systems as receiving it. So put that brain present in your head.
Sometimes more. They've actually found with child psychology, psychology, they've actually found that sometimes it's even more. The child gets more happiness from giving to someone else than they do receiving for themselves. And children are the ones who enjoy Christmas like the most, right?
Except for me, but that's fine. Actually, it's Halloween. That's a high holy day for actors. We're like, ah! But the participation of the rituals are very, very important. I think women sometimes, and I know for me personally, having a dysfunctional background, having stress-related health issues, gaining control. sometimes those of us that think we have control are the ones that do not the most. You know, I really highly recommend creating these habits, these brain presence, because you can control what you're putting on your face. You can control it. You can control the outcome. It's a safe gamble to work with me because I will slave away till you're happy. Because let me be honest, when we give gifts, when we do things for people, it creates a sensation in our body, you know, that warm Christmas morning feeling when you can connect with someone and you please them. It keeps me in the pink bubble. So I have every reason in the world to want to keep someone happy and please them and keep them functional and remind them and help them structure habits.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm feeling like kind of smart.
Yeah, you definitely are. Yeah.
I like think about all things I just said and I was like, that was really adult.
Yep. Love it. Love it. So what is your favorite, like top number one me time activity right now?
I wrote this down and it's 3 things.
Okay.
And I don't know. I'm just going to say it.
Yeah.
I love awful movies. As an
Elaborate
actor,
on awful movies, because I feel like that depends on who is watching the movie or who's acting in the movie. There's lots of different questions going on. Elaborate on that.
Okay. I mean, where they meant well and it goes wrong, but it's so bad, it's funny. Or
okay.
Because I mean, they have entire industries over this. They have entire industries: Mystery Science Theater, Master Pancake.
Mm-hmm.
I've even helped a friend out. We did Romeo and Michelle's high school reunion. You know, podcasts. My favorite podcast is one called "How Did This Get Made?" about bad movies. And it's like, if Staying Alive is on, there goes my afternoon, which is the sequel to Saturday Night Fever, and it is a dumpster fire. And I am there for it every single time. You know, Xanadu is so wrong. And I got to do I don't know, one of my posters right here, I got to do Xanadu, the stage musical, where they took it, they acknowledge all the bad things in the movie and actually write a plot. So I've watched Xanadu since I was a kid. My children know every word. And when I told Ella the character I was playing, she's like, that wasn't in the movie. Have they changed the plot? Oh, wait, there wasn't one. So other ones that are, you know, sometimes bad TV too. I'm not going to lie to you. I'll watch a Kardashian. I will watch a Kardashian. And that's, you know, and so Courtney and I decided that we're going to get things bleached on us. So you come, you know, you're like, I'm there. I am there for those hormones. Our favorite thing we say, we don't say keep calm and carry on. There's a scene in the Kardashians, because no one is more brutal to you than your sisters, you know? And Kim Kardashian's sisters are merciless to her, and I will watch that any time. Kim K, this is before Kanye, is swimming in some ocean because they're rich, and she had these diamond earrings on, and she loses them in the water, and she is sobbing in the water going, there's anybody that diamond earrings, they're good. And her sister Courtney, with a baby on her hip, goes, people are dying, Kim, and just shuts the screen door. And I'm like, so anytime someone's crashing, we're like, people are dying, Kim, you know? And it wasn't, this was 10 years ago. This wasn't a statement on this particular death. People are dying, Kim. Stop it. So I love to do that. I love to do that. I love to garden, and I'm not great at it. So it's just kind of maybe, I haven't been able to in a long time. So it's just me battling things. And we rent our house. So it's me trying to grow things from seed and garden as cheaply as humanly possible. I don't know. I kind of love the scrappiness of that. And then I come from Lubbock, Texas, where, of course, I have friends in real estate. Oddly, one of our favorite things to do since Harvey and I grew up there is look at old houses from the 70s. Like, we want to be able to smell the aqua velva as on the wood paneling. And we like, if we see a house that's like been redone inside and we're like, no, 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 we have no time for your modernization. We're not going to live, laugh, and love. Don't tell us how to live. We want to see the shag carpeting. We want to see the jungle room down in the bottom with the red carpet, the backgammon board, and the bar that looks like a barrel. For some reason, our dream, this is a stupid dream, is to buy a house in our hometown because where our parents still are, but we want to live in it like that for like 3 years, you know.
That's not a stupid dream. That's an exciting dream. It's your
comforting
dream.
Well, think about it. It's comforting. We were children in the 70s when all of those houses, like, we weren't well off, but we had relatives that had these giant houses with 800 rooms with wood paneling and shag carpeting. Why in our primal 7-year-old brains that is success to us? You know, we want that back room that makes no sense with a Farrah Fawcett poster, you know. We want all of So that's what we watch. And the worse it is, the better. The worse it is, the better. If you've got a unicorn painted on that wall, we are here for you, is what I want to say. So that's what
Very cool. Very cool. I love that. I love that so much. Because you're unapologetically you, and that's how it should be.
I can't help it.
Yeah.
If I could temper it, I would, to blend sometimes. But I just chose to start my own business because if you can't handle me a little nuts, you know, like I think most people within 30 seconds know what they're getting into. I'm not mysterious, but I mean well, you know. I love. I'm just a little bizarre.
You're wonderful.
Thanks, man.
So, if you could recommend one purchase that you've made recently that is, it can be $5, it can be like up to $100, I guess, or it can be free. You found it somewhere. Something that you feel has given you joy and you're excited about to have.
Okay. Just as people that move away from England and live elsewhere all of a sudden become the most English people, a person who resented their hometown all their life moves away from that, and their college, which while I was attending, never went to a single football game or anything. But because I get oddly homesick for that barren wasteland with wood paneling, this is my whoopee cup, and I go home for Christmas and everything, and it's just, my husband's a Longhorn, which I'm so over that. But these symbols remind me of my childhood and home, so I buy a Tervis cup for about $20, you know. And this is all I drink out of. It's like that old Duck Dynasty dude who had his Tupperware cup he took to Nam. It's like, you know, if you find this without me, I've been kidnapped by somebody. And you know, I always have my little iced tea, and it's just a comforting thing. Material objects were not something that I could gather around myself when I was younger, and I often thrift shop a lot and do pull a Molly Ringwald on things and change them up. Like, remember how she did the dress, everything. But you know, when I can buy something new like this, that's just like, little guy, you know, it reminds me of home. I don't even fit in there, you know. I go back to Lubbock now, and it's like an elephant walking down the street. I always was like that. I still am not exactly, you know, whatever the traditionalness up there. They're like, I'm like, I'm just standing here in a mumu with no underwear on. What's
the problem?
What's the problem? But to be an individual in a place like that, where it's a little shut off geographically from larger metropolitan areas, to try to be an individual there, you get a bit of a thick skin, let me just say. So it's kind of like that, these symbols, the red and the black and all that, just remind me of how I got here. And so that's a lot for a cup. I get it. Thank you, Tervis, for such a totem.
Oh, that's,
I feel like we're friends now.
Yes, totally. Absolutely.
I feel like this is happening.
Big, yes. Well, if anybody else wants to be friends or connect with you,
Absolutely.
how do they do that?
So you can search for me, Amy Nichols Madison, on the Facebookings, and attached to that is two pages. I have an actor page and a Mary Kay page. Okay. Now they change the rules a lot. You feel me? So I
can't keep up.
They have a VIP page. I have a VIP page that, you know, the encouragement right now is to start making it more of a lifestyle page. But that, I don't know. We've seen a lot of people take that to an annoying point, but and if you want to excel at those in Mary Kay, you really want to go big with it and make a platform out of it. I do have a platform that I'm adjusting right now. I don't want to address on these social media channels my dysfunctional background, but I want to focus on the positive ways to feed yourself, no matter what condition you're in. So I do have a VIP group, and I will post that a lot. But tomorrow, I like to go live a lot. I'm getting better and better about it. But tomorrow at 3, I will be going live, and I will do this. I go live on Thursdays a lot, and then I have a unit event on Tuesdays. So if you just want to like me, just please like me. I'll keep you entertained. And I promise on my actor page, I will start singing eventually. That is a big self-care thing that I need to do, which is I've been singing for so long, and I see a lot of young actresses who don't have 14 children and 80 dogs, and they're like standing in the room and like, this song means so much to me, and I've always wanted to sing it. So I don't do that, but I need to.
Yeah,
I need to. So like tomorrow at 3, I've done research on how to, and I know this is going to be on YouTube, so which 3? So just Thursdays at 3, come to my page.
There you go.
We will be doing a demo, and I'm always delighted to mail people what I'll be using in the demo beforehand, if they want to do that before. But we're going to be doing a demo and focusing on how to take care of your skin underneath a mask, because I have within my power a dermatology hotline and all that stuff, and I'm probably going to be repeating that one quite a lot. But I put comedy stuff up because you know how it is. But yeah, it is. If you want to look at it, it's at Amy Nichols Madison Mary Kay, which is a mouthful, and I'm sorry about that. But I have a shop set up. Virtually, I can do any skincare consultation because I have apps, girl. Apps that will actually evaluate your skin like a dermatologist, but it's not a dermatologist, it's a phone. I can send someone the apps and get most of it done quickly and look at the regimen and talk about that. But also still at this, I can still design makeup because I am in theater, and I started taking this business and doing makeup on film sets. So the idea of how to be able to, I just need to know what they want. What do they want to bring out, and what do they want to diminish about their bodies? And we will get going. But the Facebook is a great way to do it. I'm on the Instagrams. That's something I have no idea. There's too many things to remember.
Well, don't worry about that. People will put in your stuff for Facebook so they can connect with you.
Yeah, and then I have a Mary Kay website, which is not my personal content. It is the shop, and you can communicate with me. I kind of prefer being able to evaluate, and it can all be done. You know, a lot of people say, I don't have time. Well, it's in apps. It's in apps, and you can do it on the social medias. And I would say, I know this sounds like a curveball, but it's not. This job right now, especially if you take the time to view it as a job, you don't have to. You can view it as being a smart shopper with a wholesale number. You can view it as a side gig. I'm wanting to turn it into a job because I enjoy it so much. So this job right now monetarily works out as like a part-time job, like working at a preschool right now. However, because it is a home-based business, Mary Kay goes out of its way to teach you how to make the taxes work for you. So not only is it a home-based business that works out part-time for now, it's a massive tax shelter. And in the fact that you can take these live videos on Facebook and reward people generously with free products and gifts, because you can take it off your taxes. Just the act of, and by the way, I hope you're doing that too. I hope, you know, just the way that the tax law works, you can be as generous as you like, and it actually works in your favor as a larger job and income for your family. So I love to shower people with gifts because it will help my family financially, and it also makes people like me, which as an actor is all I really ever want. That was a good button, wasn't it? That was
yeah, yeah.
Kind of nailed that one.
Yeah, yeah, you did. Okay, well, everybody wants to say au revoir, so thank you so much for chatting with you today.